Are you not entertained by what is going on in the FT and Web3 scene right now? We're back-to-back episodes on Web3 today. If you're just joining us, if you did not catch the Jessica Yatrofsky Coinbase NFT I Heart Girl Drop interview, you have to go back. That is on our network. It is there. We just decided to actually have it was going to be like a dual episode situation, and then it turned into let's just have it be its own little wrapped up present for you if you want to check out Jessica's latest drop. That's happening in literally like 21 hours for the pre-sale list. Go back, check it out. Right now, what's happening with this second episode, this back-to-back NFT live, is we're going to talk about fucking Binance and FTX. I mean, this could go down as one of the craziest fucking days in the crypto scene in a long time. Do Kwon, the founder of Terra, Do Kwon was on Up Only TV like 30 minutes ago. Kobe went live on Up Only TV. Do Kwon, the founder of Terra Luna.
It's a fucking telenovela, man. We're literally watching a crypto telenovela. That's what it is.
Brian is saying under $4. I can only assume that's no way that's FTT. No way that's FTT. Guys, thank you for joining today. Again, this is going to be a back-to-back episode, essentially, of NFT Live. I'm sitting here with my man, Biggie Poppins. I'll get him to tell him what's going on in his life right now that he could tell us. Yes, FTT is at $4. It was...
Wow,
that is,
dude.
It was 18 when we... Hold up.
It
was literally 18. It was 18 like 2 seconds ago.
This is bad. What can we say? What can we say, man? And did you see that like ZZ posted and saying like basically they can pull out of the deal anytime? It's a letter of intent.
No.
It's not binding. Of course, they need to do their due diligence. If there's shenanigans on there or like stuff like that, I mean, dude, there's so many predictions. But like just this little hiatus that we took, I just like scrolled through crypto Twitter and it's a mess. Honestly.
I want to give one last shout out. I'm going to show it here on the screen. Obviously, we're doing content all week long. Today, we had the GM Web3 morning show. We had this interview here. Jessica Yatrofsky Coinbase NFT drop. She has iHeart. I'll drop the link in the chat on that pre-sale that's coming up. And now we're into a whole nother episode. This is the first time ever that we've ever had a back-to-back content piece. Biggie, I appreciate you being here along with me to cover everything, man. What did you think about Jessica's interview and drop that's upcoming?
Man, it's interesting. I've known her, and I know that she's an artist, and that she's a frequent participant in our spaces. I had not really taken the time to become acquainted with her very talented work, and as we were talking right now off the air, like I think it's great that she's challenging all these different stigmas that are so prevalent, especially in this country, in the United States, right, compared to other places, like questions about nudity, being comfortable in your body, and like just like actually appreciating the erotic, right, which is also an element in her work, which I think is great. Really cool person. I'm looking forward. I signed up for the pre-mint. Please don't get me in a gas war because I'd like to acquire a piece.
55 pieces, one of ones. You get a bunch of different utilities that come with it, including video content. I think I'm blanking on the frame. Why do I always blank on the name of the? Is it Immortal?
Infinite Objects.
Infinite Objects, not Immortal Objects. Infinite Objects. I just linked in chat the interview that we just had, literally 5 seconds ago. So go check that out after this show and after talking about Binance buying FTX, which again, it's a letter of intent. We don't even know. This would be like 4D chess by CZ. I mean, it went from first of all, SBF's the king. SBF was the king. Like FTX and SBF were the king. CZ's been around a lot longer than him. You could make the argument that they were like a dual king kind of. Brian Armstrong, really not. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, not getting involved in the weeds as much as maybe SBF and Binance with CZ. But this was an absolute beheading over the course of like a month, maybe 2 weeks.
I think we're all still kind of like just staring at the crime scene, trying to figure out what the fuck happened, right? Uh, man, where to
Dude.
start, Q?
Well,
Where to
well, this
start?
is this is the correct headline. We'll get started. Oh, we'll get started. This is the correct headline. Binance offers to buy FTX. Offers is a quote unquote there. I didn't even really put that together. Most of the space is basically like Binance buy. The fucking title of this show is Binance Buys FTX. That isn't even final yet. So we're gonna cover that with you guys. I see Mr. Joker in the chat. But does it stick? That's the question. Asmodai Regional, second time of day to you all. OVOT from Hash Rhymes, who is on vacation. Shout out to Hash Rhymes. Let's see. Gloomy, do you think my funds will be safe on FTX? We'll get to that in just a moment. Savage, that was crazy stuff. So we're getting to your comments. This is what Space Smells Like, saying, I would say about a 10% chance CZ buys FTX when he sees the books. He will be out. Before we get started, please leave a like on the episode. I don't know where we go from here. I guess we'll just start with the announcement, right? Like, if you're not familiar with what's been going on, CZ essentially threatened to sell a shit ton of FTT token, which is the token that Alameda Research and its sister company FTX has been having on their books, to say this is what we look like a company, as an entity. We have this amount of assets. A lot of that was in FTT. CZ said, I don't like what you guys are doing. Specifically, SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, the owner or co-founder of FTX. I don't like the way that you're working with the U.S. government, throwing us under the bus. We're going to market sell $2 billion of your FTT token. Had a weird reaction. People started running for the hills, rightfully so now, that we're seeing. And this is the announcement that came out today from SBF. Hey all, I have a few announcements to make. Things have come full circle. FTX.com's first and last investors are the same. What a way to put that. We have come to an agreement on a strategic transaction with Binance for FTX.com.
Yeah.
Follow up by CZ. Tweet is unavailable.
Oh my God. Come on.
No Bella's right.
I should have screenshotted that. Oh yeah, there it is. It's non-binding. LOI. Letter of intent. Yeah, good times ahead, man. Good times ahead.
Okay. So covering in real time, Solana price down 25-30%. FTT token is absolutely getting demolished, down 70% on the day. Do we ever get a final on what the FTT token did for that ecosystem? Was it a
Like, I think it got you, like, if you staked it on the exchange, it got you like a discount, a certain, depending on how much you staked, it got you a certain like discount on, preferred discount on like trades and stuff like that.
now can get you homeless. All right, going again into the article. This is by CNBC. That's how you know shit is happening in crypto when CNBC is talking about it. Again, this is Binance coming out. CZ, after all of this stuff is happening with them claiming books and all that stuff, or not transparent books. This is Binance offering to buy FTX. Absolutely gigantic. For those of you that don't understand how big it is, it'd be like if they bought Coinbase at this point, right? It really would. I mean, if Binance, and then that leads into the U.S. and non-U.S. regulations. You know, FTX has been positioned as the U.S. exchange alongside Coinbase. What happens now with this acquisition?
Yeah, it's I'm speechless. Cute. I don't know what to say. I mean, there's so many moving. You know, like you know what I keep coming back to, because like obviously like, okay, between these two, they're gonna duke it out it is what it is. Just gonna have to wait. Like we've seen. I mean, I'm not saying that it's the same outcome or same situation, but we've seen it like with Voyager and SBF coming in, right? Like to try to buy Voyager to help Celsius and
Oh,
like we have no saviors this time. What I'm thinking about, what happened?
I
Now
just
what?
looked at the market, just the overall market prices
Oh
now.
yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. The contagion effect. The contagion effect, and like how much of it is obviously warranted and how much of it is now just a stampede. Because there comes a point where like if you get the whole space in a panic, trying to exit through the same little freaking window, this is what happens, right? And I mean, what's gonna survive, what isn't? And like, okay, so like my main focus right now or thought, what I'm trying to like think around is like Solana. What happens to Solana, right? Because Solana, I
Yep.
mean, I think it is definitely like the main casualty here that I think everybody should be kind of thinking about.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, uh, and I feel for honestly like the builders and the collect like the and us the collectors, the people that have participated in the space and everything, because this is just collateral damage, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
dude, like for whatever we talk shit about each other's favorite chains in this show, like what I love about most about this space is that I am very much agnostic and still, I understand, and I am still mostly primarily an Ethereum ecosystem participant, but I love my Tesos. I love that there's new things coming out all the time, and believe that like yeah, the majority of people building in this space want to create like a better alternative to our current financial ecosystem, to the technology we have or whatever. And this one is an unfortunate kick in the balls for Solana, right? Like I wonder what Anatoly's thinking just right now. It's like it's out of my fuck. I mean, we were joking
Dude,
about it in the Discord about like a layer two coming up for Solana and thinking that was funny, but this, yeah, man.
this is so for the NFT folks that don't dabble with crypto, and I know we have all types, right, that are listening and watching. People who are just NFT focused, people who are just crypto focused, who are maybe dabbling in NFTs. This is on the level of Terra Luna, but probably worse, because what's happening here is they're getting essentially insolvency rumors, which are now starting to, whether that's just from the rumor itself, people starting to have like a bank run, quote unquote, where they're just going for the hills, and that causes all of this insolvency. But the problem here is Terra Luna was kind of isolated in its own sector. Yes, it was a ton of money. Yes, they decided they wanted to liquidate a bunch of ETH, which sent the price of ETH tumbling, which everyone got it in a fervor. What is happening here is this is one of the largest exchanges in the United States and in the world attached to this. Just to make some clear context, Alameda Research, whenever anybody says that, that's like an investment and trading firm that is also, think about them as part of a family. FTX being the exchange, Alameda Research being the investment firm. Alameda Research was the one that basically did this Terra Luna situation where they're over leveraging themselves. I think they were even invested in Terra Luna, but it came out that they did get a little bit wrecked, but nobody knew how much wrecked. They got fucked just like these
Dude,
guys.
are you looking at gas right now? 431 Gwei. I mean, if that tells you people aren't scrambling, I don't know what does. And the thing is, like, again, like going back to what I was telling you about the contagion, about like the collateral damage, like, Nassim Taleb's famous, like the whole concept of the black swan, right? It's,
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, we know there's contagion. Yes, we know Solana is going to suffer. Yes, we know FTT is, it makes sense that it's at that price point at the moment. It's the unknown unknowns that I'm worried about, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, how that's going to affect the ecosystem. And I mean, you can bet your bottom dollar right now that up in Capitol Hill, there are people. talking
Dude,
about this, and they are sharpening their knives, and there will be no mercy. And it'll
this
be all in the name of protecting us, the poor pleb
I
losers,
want to
right?
cry. I want to fucking cry, dude.
And they're
We
gonna
were
say, yeah,
rolling. We
like
were
we
getting we
told
were
you.
going to 2K. We were on our way to 2K. We were starting to move. Bitcoin was above 21. It felt like we were not coming out of the bear, but I want to cry.
Yeah,
I
it's.
This is
I mean,
so much worse because this guy was tying himself. SBF was tying himself to the regulators. He was on Capitol Hill with a negative balance sheet because of their stupid ass over leveraging. Whatever Alameda Research did, they didn't have any money. They were in the same boat essentially as the Terra Luna guys, over leveraging themselves. And yet he was up at Capitol Hill, rubbing shoulders, to say, like, trying to get the regulation under control. Meanwhile, they had a deficit on their books. The balls.
the balls. And then again, let's not forget that we need to highlight that these are IRL centralized exchanges with people that are fallible and greedy and can make mistakes. I mean, for the longest time, right? Like SBF has always been one to be respected, right? I mean, so many people determine what they did based on this guy's trades and movements. And here you go. I mean, for whatever, he's a good, bad, he's a good guy, bad guy, whatever you want to think about it. Like, he is human, he is fallible, he is susceptible to greed or whatever
That's what it
whatever it
is.
might turn
That's
out
all
to
it
be,
is.
right? But again, why does crypto exist? To prevent this shit, to not allow it to happen, right? And if
Yeah.
it does, for it to work accordingly to plan, right?
We're
And
having one of those live meltdown videos, like where we're live
yeah,
on fucking stream and it's happening. We are down 16% on ETH, 11%. We're at 18K on Bitcoin, all in the span of an hour. All in the span of an hour. For those of you that are wondering how this actually occurred, the block had and it's linked here in this Twitter post that I put in chat. There's an additional link inside of the tweet that takes you to the spaces they had this morning. The spaces is already out of date because they started talking about this stuff before Binance came out, and like literally this morning at 6, 7, 8 a.m. they were there on spaces talking about how, what's happening between FTX and Binance, and then it came out literally an hour later that Binance is buying it. Here's the timeline for those that are wondering, what is happening, right? So there was an initial CoinDesk article that said, hey, there's something up with with Alameda's balance sheet. Alameda came back and said, no, we're good. Binance then came out and said, hey, we're holding, and that I'm finally got a fucking number. I've been saying $2 billion. It's upwards of 500 million that they hold in FTT token. So Binance came out and said, we're going to market sell this, which makes no sense objectively. No sense. If you're going to sell something, you don't tell the public that you're going to sell it, because then they're going to fucking sell it before you. If you hold $500 million in assets, you're either buying it OTC or you're slowly selling that asset over time without telling anybody. Hopefully no one, kind of gets a hint at what you're doing, and therefore you receive the best price. Alameda then said, hey, we'll buy these OTC from you at $22. Binance said, nope, I'm not taking the bait. I'm selling this shit. And you guys are insolvent. FTX comes back. SBF came back and said, we're actually solvent. Everything's fine. Token price continues to drop. Block publishes piece on FTX halting withdrawals. People couldn't get their money out of FTX. And then SBF and Binance came out this morning and said, this is an acquisition. We're buying these guys. Dude, this started on the 2nd. It hasn't even been a week. And the largest exchange in the US is being acquired.
I mean, can we just say something like, I mean, CZ's something else, right? Like, he didn't go out and buy stadiums, right? Put his freaking thing on every Formula One and, professional sports team. He just sat back, quiet, and pounced when the right time is right. I don't know. It feels like that. That's off, but dang.
I want to continue getting your thoughts here, Big E. I definitely, yeah. So what the fuck, SBF for Mr. Joker is a good point. FTX was a revenue producing machine. It's a fucking exchange. Coinbase is down a bunch from the revenue that they were getting back when it was a bull cycle, but they're still making money. FTX was still making money hand over fist for this guy. It would have been completely okay to continue to do that. And yet, what did he do? He over-levered himself, got into Terra Luna and whatever else he got into, where Alameda Research is underwater, and therefore they need to sell FTX. That's the crux of what's happening here. He could have continued putting his logo on every sports team in existence, but the fact that they over-levered, to your point, Biggie, the greed, the fact that they got greedy and started to do a woozy with the assets, a fugazi with the assets, that's what led to this. Fucking nuts.
Man.
And we're gonna fucking lose out. This is Terra Luna times 5.
Man. And there's no one to save us now.
What? So you touched on Solana, right? Like I think that's an objective. I got a little emotional there. I'm still emotional, but Solana is a good thing.
Oh,
someone else was asking. I think Gloomy was asking, are your funds with FTX? I think if the sale goes through, then you'll be completely fine. And maybe even not. I think it's not necessarily a Mt. Gox situation or anything like that. They're one of the largest exchanges in the world. But even as I say that, I think they got greedy here, and they might not have the money. This is fucking bizarre.
Very possible. Yeah. I mean, I think who was it? DC Blogger. Check out DC Blogger's tweets right now, or something like his prediction being that basically he's gonna get to buy FTX. Like, he's gonna see the books and he's gonna be like, "I'm gonna pay you nothing. I'll help keep you out of jail, and I'll make your investors whole." Something along those lines. Which I don't know. That would be very benevolent of somebody that's been, especially if you like the person on the other side of the ring has been lobbing fucking bricks at you. But I mean, again, I don't know, acquiring the whole platform is to his benefit, right?
So here's 6 months from now, is FTX going to be a standalone? Is FTX and then FTX US going to be a standalone platform, or do you think that are we trading on Binance in 6 months? Like, is it just known as Binance? Does it get rebranded?
I think it takes time, no? Do that, to merge the two different systems. But yeah, it's pretty much Binance and Coinbase now, man.
Here's
and if
here's
you're
where we all
Coinbase stock, I'd be a little nervous.
Isn't this a good thing for Coinbase? Let's say one of its biggest competitors is gone.
True. But now you're the last meal. You're the last meal standing of this giant behemoth that's fucking Binance. I don't know.
Yeah. Here's a link and I want to show you how ridiculous the timeline is today. And Dickensis is hitting the nail on the head as well, saying what a shit show this space has been these past few days. This is Up Only TV. I think they're off air. I almost think they're off air. If you're not following Up Only, they're a great show hosted by Kobe, one of the OGs in the space. That is Doquan right there in the middle, right here. That is the founder of Terra Luna, the shit show that we had 4 months ago, which led to essentially some of what the bear market we're here now talking about SBF and this scenario. It was an absolute clown show of an episode. I like this space is unparalleled in its circusness. Like
I mean, it's what we signed up for, right? Like the Wild West. It's why we're always saying we're so early, right? But what's unfortunate is like these fucking clowns are gonna cancel any possibility of it like existing the way that we like it right now, right? Which is still like, I mean, I don't know. It also like makes me really. I mean, I know in our spaces right now we had who was it? The ETH Maxi, who for sure I understand. Like, okay, you can't do this on Ethereum. Can't. I think the only one that can claim that is Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one. It's slow, it's sluggish, it doesn't have the smart contract capabilities, but I really feel like it's the only one that right now I would be like, okay, it doesn't, you can't regulate it to shit. I think Ethereum still has that attack vector,
yeah,
open to it, and this crap definitely is going to be a huge motivator.
It's fucked.
Yeah,
it's fucked because we could say, oh, Terra Luna, but Terra's in what I believe is Asia. Like, at least I don't know where Do Kwon is situated, and I don't know where the company is, but they definitely weren't a U.S. company. It's absolutely fucking nuts to me that this guy was sitting arm in arm with Congress while also, like, his degen level was at 100 at the same time he was lobbying Congress.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I mean, if you think you're untouchable, if you think you can't do no wrong, if you think you don't have enemies, or I don't know, man. Like,
it's so much worse.
It's very careless, though, for sure.
He was a hero. He was truly of this cycle. Yeah. Of this cycle, I almost said Do Kwon there. SBF was kind of the people's champ, and people started to refer him a little bit as like a CIA or a narc, which I mean, I don't know what's happening here. It's unfathomable that he would have one of the largest exchanges in the world and at the same time be fucking degenning it up to the extent where they're this far underwater. It's wild. A couple comments. Up Only TV. What do they have? 6 episodes. Bro. Listen, they're churning out the viewers though. I will say I was on there. There were like 23,000 people watching as Do Kwon, the founder of fucking Terra Luna, the one that got us into this mess in the first place 6 months ago, was commenting on fucking SBF's degenery that's led us now here. It was an absolute. It was a masterclass of a circus. Nick Swerve is saying, yes, this space is a circus Q, and I'm here for it. Mr. Joker says, I think this pushes regulation so damn fast. When the top 2 fall in line, they think we'll fall in line. So commenting there, here's the negative. Here's one big negative of this acquisition here, and it was brought up in the morning show this morning on Twitter Spaces, which I'll get a link for, is the decentralization. I hate to use the term decentralization, but the decentralization of competition, right? Like when you have FTX, Binance, Coinbase, and now you just have Binance and Coinbase, the attack vectors start to get, all they have to do is, again, hone in on those two. It's not a situation where Binance can get fucked and then we still have FTX or vice versa. Now, as we get a conglomeration of these exchanges, the targets become less and less, and they become easier for people to regulate.
Yeah. And we're going to see it right in front of all our faces, dude. It will not be pleasant.
All right, I'm watching the market, see if we get a bounce at all. It looks like it found a bounce at 1275, 1280 on Ethereum. and it bounced up a little bit. We'll watch. I mean, that's literally on like a fucking hour chart. Bepex Wisdom says that's it. Not sure what you're kind of getting at. Put that out there.
That's it. I'm gone. It's over.
Oh, Wisdom says that's it. Yeah, it might be. No, we'll still be here. We'll still be here. Joker says, have y'all even looked up Alameda? It's a man-made island in the Bay Area where SBF is from. It sits at sea level and is in danger of going underwater. Yo, that brings up a meme that is like an all-timer at this point. I have to pull up this meme for y'all. Make sure I got this up on the screen. This was SBF in an article, I think 3 months ago, calling out exchanges for being insolvent. This is a major publication. Little did we know he was talking about himself.
Dude.
DJ Savage says the amount of people getting washed out on longs and shorts probably intense today. Honestly, I felt the vibe in the crypto space. It felt like we were headed towards something good. Maybe not in December. Maybe the start of next year. We're starting to kind of pick back up for a summertime run. Now this throws it all out of whack.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think those vibes you were getting, Q, were also like influenced by the elections today and maybe a couple of other factors. I mean, there definitely was some nice like hopium going around, positivity, but I mean, let's not forget the whole macro situation, like outside of crypto that's going on. I think this just made it a lot worse. Like holidays will not be normal. So, like for kicks, I'm trying to like swap a little bit of Sol to USDC, and it's just not going through. And I just keep seeing Sol fucking go down. That's nuts.
Dude, I swear to God, if this says Coinbase temporarily down, we fucking live in a simulation. I can't. My simulation meter is like broken. Fix it.
Contagion effects, man. And I guess like that's why they say like not your keys, not your crypto. You should never leave anything there that that's too much. Obviously, right? Like just enough to do whatever transactions you might have had planned.
All right. Well, we're going to
have to wait.
We're going to be here for another 10 minutes, give or take 10, 20 minutes. Again, this was a back-to-back episode. We interviewed Jessica Yatrofsky, who has a Coinbase NFT drop here within the coming day. So just adding to the last 24 hours, this week of news. But that was a good interview there. We're doing this in real time with y'all. This is a tweet by CZ an hour ago. All crypto exchanges should be Merkle tree proof of reserves. Banks run on fractional reserves. Crypto exchanges should not. Binance will start to do proof of reserves. This guy's playing on a level we mere mortals cannot comprehend. And I know that sounds like a simp for CZ, but this was a fucking master stroke in the past week. Now he's playing on the narrative. Go ahead.
Dude, I love what Marty McFly is asking. His question is like, does this kill Utes and DGOTs?
Going back to Solana again. Yep.
Yeah, like just in our own little world that is the JPEG world, like what's this gonna do to all these projects? It's I don't know, man.
I didn't think my Solana bags could get, not Solana, Star Atlas. I've got Star Atlas bags, Polis and Atlas.
Oh Lord.
I didn't think they could go any lower, but I'm actually worried to check on this price because I didn't think the Polis Atlas prices could get any low. That's it. We're homeless. It's for real. It wasn't a meme. Holy fuck. Every project, not just Solana, is being affected here. Rightfully so, right? That's the way it works. Am I losing you? If I sort of
No. I think it's very true. I'm just like trying to think, like, honestly, my one of the first things when I started seeing this, like you said, like a couple of days ago, I was like,
hold on.
gonna...
Biggie, you're being rugged, or I'm being rugged. One or the other. Internet connection.
Let me know. Are we good? No. Let me try.
Can you rejoin and see if that fixes it?
Yeah.
What a fucking day. What a fucking day. This guy was going up to fucking Capitol Hill, rubbing elbows, trying to get the regulation together at the same time. Had a negative balance sheet because these fuckers went full levered up. That is balls of fucking steel. Biggie, you back?
Let me know.
There you go. You're good.
Yeah, good. I just heard balls of fucking steel.
Apparently, it might have even been me, man. Like, honestly, the rugs just aren't stopping today. But go ahead. Sorry, you're talking about Solana projects. It doesn't stop with.
No, I was just saying, like, that when all this fiasco started happening, I didn't think that it would get this bad, obviously. And my first thought was like, oh man, like, floor prices on like DGOTs and UTs are going to go down. Like, there might be some deals there. I don't want nothing to do with anything right now, obviously, right? But I mean, for example, there are a couple of projects on Solana that I was tracking. I was excited about. I still am, I want to think, but yeah, dude, like I feel for the founders, right? The people that were like, imagine if you were like launching like this week.
Yeah. Do not buy a lotto ticket if you're that person. Listen,
seriously,
dude, CZ is taking, I don't mean to I need to get off this guy's dick for a second, but he like took fucking Elon Musk level of Twitter, like experience and proficiency in the last 24. Here's a couple other tweets, man. And this is just directly from his account. It's not from the Binance account. It's just him directing the narrative via Twitter. Like, this looks like Elon Musk. In the middle of this, he's saying Binance has about $8 billion in ETH in our cold wallets. And there's something to be said about, again, proof of reserves, which he followed up on a tweet 24 hours later, that this all comes down to the same conversations we were having with Tether on transparency and reserves. Right? Like, this comes down to, like, do you have the money in your account for your users' funds, or don't you?
And, historically, they've always been able to get away with kind of, right? And it's exactly what we've been trying to prevent.
Yep. A couple more questions for us. I know we do have to run here in the next 5-10 minutes. So drop it if you still kind of are at a loss for what's actually happening. Please let us know. Like, that's what we're here for. That's why we're doing the back episode, to let y'all know. Marty McFly is coming through with. So do you think SBF giving all his money to Biden helps or hurts the Dems in 24? Second biggest donor to the Democratic Party, SBF.
Wow, man. I'm sure he's calling right now and being like, you think I can get some of that back? Dude.
And they're saying nope.
Oh, dude, man. Spent it all on Ray-Bans. Jesus.
Nick Swervis, soul NFTs might as well be soul bound at this point. Man, that hurts. My Star Atlas tokens are never leaving my wallet. That's 100% a loss.
They're gonna be historical relics, dude, of a bygone era, right?
Wow. I would love to see, actually, like, the next couple weeks we'll be looking at founders in that ecosystem. Like, did God say anything about this? Did Anatoly,
Well, they were like too busy getting in their little hissy fit fight, right? Between him and Chill and Villain. I'm sure like they got bigger things to focus on now, right? Um, dude, yeah.
Dude, speaking of things that weren't, we had a whole list of stories to talk about today too. That never fucking ever will ever come into existence. Maybe we'll cover it tomorrow.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the talk for this next November, and God knows what else is to be revealed. You know, what red herrings are to pop out of this story as we proceed. But it's gonna be one for the books, like you said. It's a story for the books, and yes, I'm mostly intrigued. I mean, into what's gonna happen to all these other projects.
Yep. Yep. All right, we're gonna head out in 5 minutes. We'll answer the last bit of question. I'm not getting to elections. Yeah, why EG is saying what's going on with elections right now from a Canada guy. We're not going there. We already have enough. We're good with that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Could you please briefly recap the day? I'll let the guys at the block do that for you. This is a great just rundown, and I'll link the actual tweet. And then they actually have the spaces that they held earlier today. You basically, again, you went from kind of a hint that maybe Alameda's books were either fraud. I don't think fraudulent, but they were just like not what people said. Maybe that is fraudulent. That Alameda's books just weren't what they said they were, and therefore Alameda being tied into FTX meant that any losses Alameda took as an investment firm go into FTX potentially, right? So if Alameda makes a super bad trade or has a Terra Luna situation happen to their books, that it affects FTX and therefore the user's funds. So, you know, ipso facto, don't know if that's the right term to use. People say that maybe, you know, Alameda was using FTX users' funds to get highly levered positions that ended up going to shit. They lost all their money. They need to be bailed out. CZ steps in.
And gets it at bargain basement prices.
Any other like long standing like any other like effects from this? You mentioned Solana. People are going to need to find a new place to probably trade. We'll see what Binance does with FTX US.
There's I mean, they did address that a little bit, but yeah, like the US versions,
What'd they
like
say?
the entities. Well, it is part of FTX, so I assume like if he's buying FTX US comes along with it. But they like he did mention like SBF was mentioning something regarding like the ability to withdraw. I think like if your funds are on FTX US, you're still should be kind of good. You know, I don't know, maybe Contagion already reached the shores also, but yeah, it's FTX.com, the one that you're gonna be waiting a while for your monies. I assume at least a week or two, and I'm being very generous here. I don't know like how long it's gonna take to do the due diligence on that, but I let's just say like that whole reference to Merkle trees and being able to reference like the debts on the books, it's not making me feel very good about like what like the rabbit hole that it's, you know, the ball of yarn that is going to be to untangle
From a
FTX's
regulatory
stuff.
perspective?
No, not even like just from him like making a decision whether to buy or not. Like if he's already talking about these things, it's like, I mean, honestly, to me right now, it's obvious that it's not going to paint a pretty picture. I mean, I'd be surprised if everything's kosher there. And since it isn't, that, in my opinion, just leaves one question to CZ, which is like, are the assets and the customers still worth acquiring? And if so, at what price? And I mean, I think it's going to be almost nothing. Coachella NFT. Do you have any soul merch? Q? Do you have like a soul hat or something? Or those, you should save those, man.
Look, while FT, look, I'm concerned in the. I'm concerned in the sense that if Solana can live on its own, is what I'm trying to get to. Solana can completely live on its own. I think it can go on as its own independent chain.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see about the FTX connection, because I don't think obviously CZ is going to want to tie into Solana. Maybe there's an opportunity there for Solana. I'm reaching now. Maybe they say, hey, we can turn this into a positive, maybe partner with Binance Chain, and we have a good relationship.
That's the thing, right? Binance wants you to use Binance Chain. And I think I'm again, like you said, the tech on Solana is solid. It can continue working, and there's a lot of money already invested there. But again, what we're talking about, these black swans, Q, is and how prolonged and how heavy is the FUD and this pandemonium gonna go for, right? Because really right now, imagine if we're right now on a 7, and this week or next week, regulators come out guns a-blazing, what do you think that's gonna do to everybody, right? I still think there are some Solana maxis or people that are I'm buying right now, I'm buying the dip, right? This is not gonna blow over, Solana's still gonna survive. I know the tech or this or that, and it's all right, fine. But you gotta understand mob mentality. When there's a stampede, you're dealing with a crazy, frenzied horde of people that are just, and that can affect not just the exchanges, but again, like you were referencing right now, other projects, I imagine some of these projects that didn't liquidate all of the Solana they might have raised, they maybe they only swapped for USDC as needed. We're gonna see, as Buffett says, who was swimming without swimming shorts, right? Very soon. But I really think we are not at peak fear and FUD for this stuff, unfortunately. This is just gaining momentum. It's a wave. It hasn't even begun to crest, so we're, get your memes ready and
listen, we'll be here tomorrow covering this stuff. I think Biggie, you'll be here tomorrow as well, he said.
Yeah,
but not Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, if you can't, I understand, considering the times. I'd have a hard time figuring out who had a bigger fall from grace. I know as he was talking about regulation, people started to get off SBF's train. The CIA comments were talked about, but who has had a faster fall from grace than this guy? This guy was on top of the world. He was a degen god at one point, SBF. And now he has completely let us in to, I don't want to be overstating anything. I don't want to be reacting, off the hip, but this could extend the bear market for sure. This is one of those things that could extend a bear market. People are getting wrecked right now. People are getting retail traders that are Bitcoin went up, from 18 to 21. Maybe we're feeling good. Down 30% in a day. Okay. I'm out, and those people don't come back. In some cases,
and I'm interested to see. I'm sure we're gonna see this from all the mega sleuths out there in crypto Twitter, but all those flows, if there was a way to see what the flows are right now from Solana bridging to freaking Ethereum or just fiat, I'm sure it's gonna be pretty insane. Again, though, if you're a person of conviction, if you're a Solana maxi, you might have an opportunity to get Sol at $3. I'm kidding, but
Sol at $3.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? We might be talking about it. It's a possibility, Hugh. Unfortunately.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
All right, folks. I feel like we're at the end of an apocalypse movie. We're going off the air. We'll see you guys. Be safe. Hug your loved ones. We will be here tomorrow, likely with some more information. Hopefully, one thing I will say is hopefully the deal goes through. If the deal doesn't go through and then we have a complete collapse, who steps in someone's going to buy it for some amount of money. But yeah, Easy
Teachable
Crypto saying it
moment too.
feels like the old days a little.
Yeah, it's a teachable moment, you know. Like I think if you've never been through one of these before, you've never gotten a rug, welcome to the club. But like again, like I think the best thing to do at these moments is kind of like either step away from the computer, or if not, like lean on your community. No need to like hastily do anything at the moment. Honestly, things are gonna be slow. There's a lot of volatility out there, and yeah, like just try to if you made some mistakes, if you didn't, sorry about that. Take stuff out of exchanges or stuff like that. Well, now
Yeah.
you know what you should do.
Brian is saying SBF is just a Solana investor. FTX is not Solana. There's a little bit more tied in factors there. Like a lot of the projects are pretty tied into Solana, or I'm sorry, FTX. When it comes to like onboarding and offboarding, or on ramps and off ramps there with funds. So there's a little bit more of a tie-in than that. Let's see. Nick sort of saying, I mean, maybe Elon's right. The last person out, please turn off the lights. Listen, we're super bullish on the space. Hopefully it is a, very, very short term reaction to this. Hopefully we get some type of good news that we can report on tomorrow. But this was a back-to-back episode, so we do need to run out of here. Biggie, you were the man today for hopping on for both episodes. Like, honestly, if you got to do something tomorrow, just hit me up.
You guys are fam. Yeah, no worries, man. I'll be here tomorrow. Might be from a different location, that's all, but I'll be here.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, we'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully, again, like I said, we have more information. Please leave a like. It does help us in these dire times to reach more individuals that have been affected by SBF.
For a like.
Seriously, that's how low we are right now.
For a like.
Our vibe, our tribe. Peace.
Take it easy, people.